Unlike Katrina, it was a fixed event. It was over. We knew what we had to do. We don't know the long-term effects of this on especially Louisiana, the tourism industry, and the seafood industry. And so we have to take an approach today, and we have to start today knowing it's going to be a long-term battle.
That's a world-famous New Orleans restaurant owner and world-famous restaurant family, Ralph Brennan, testifying about the impact that he and others are going to be feeling long after this well is capped.
He was actually responding to a question from Louisiana Congressman Charlie Melanson, member of the Energy and Commerce Committee. And Congressman, I have no idea whether I pronounced your last name correctly. I hope I got somewhere in the vicinity of a correct pronunciation, but thank you for joining us. I guess the first thing I want to ask you about is this report I'm sure you've seen in the New York Times today that suggests this oil slick is dissipating more quickly than anyone dared believe. What do you make of that report, and what concerns do you have?
Well, Savannah, at first, let us just say, or let me just say, that the disappearance doesn't necessarily mean it's gone. Where has it settled out? Where has it gone to? And what we don't see is what is concerning the people of Louisiana and the Gulf Coast. So until we know the results of that, and of course our estuaries are an area that the fish, the shrimp, the oysters, it's kind of the beginning spot for the seafood in the Gulf of Mexico. Right. And so our concern is that that is safe. We have as you heard from Ralph Brennan, his concern is the people that believe that there's a problem with seafood in Louisiana. The seafood that we're putting on the market, and I just got some legislation and a bill passed yesterday that will provide some relief and some science to make sure that Louisiana seafood is safe before it's marketed. But the damage may already have been done.
Congressman, tell me this. In your congressional district, Grand Isle, Louisiana, where a lot of us have been off and on since this disaster began, we know there were a lot of empty shrimping boats and oyster boats. Are they finding some estuaries to go to now to start harvesting some shrimp and oysters?
Well, you know, some of them are still fishing in areas that were never closed. The problem right now is, do you go out with a low price that may not even cover the cost of the trip and possibly harvest shrimp that are tainted with oil and come back in and have to dump it all and have the expenses of being out there all day or for several days and coming back with a catch that doesn't get you any money? For the first time in a number of years, because of dumping of shrimp in Louisiana and the United States, there was hope by the fishermen this year that they had a good price coming and the estimates of the yield on the crop were going to be good. And then, of course, the oil spill came. That's all shot. Right. And do you go out and gamble? And they're in a fragile position right now. So I guess it's a matter of getting the science to them, finding out where they can fish, and trying to make sure that what we do yields dollars for them, and trying to get the nation and everyone else to realize that the shrimp, the oysters, the fish that we're going to sell out of Louisiana are still good, clean, and edible.
And Congressman, real quickly, I mean, how concerned are you that as the oil does dissipate, now that the leak has been stopped, essentially, it's being cleaned up? I mean, the cleanup efforts have employed a lot of folks in the Gulf who otherwise would be perhaps employed on oil rigs. Are you concerned that this employment picture is actually going to become even more bleak because of the president's continuing moratorium on deep-water oil drilling?
Yeah, there's several problems. One is what we don't see is what worries us, and that's why the fishermen are having problems with getting back out to start fishing. The second thing is the monies that they earn for the short term, and I understand 300 boats out of Lafitte, they're down to 40 right now, so that's coming to an end very quickly as the oil dissipates. At the same time, Northrop Grumman announced that they're going to shut down Avondale right out of in New Orleans on the West Bank, and that's about 5,000 jobs as Michoud declines because of the fact that the space program is winding down. Those things, coupled with the moratorium and the oil spill, it's got the potential to be devastating economically to our region.
And very quickly, is it your hope that because the oil is, there's this report that the oil is disappearing faster than folks thought, that maybe the president will reconsider this moratorium sooner rather than later?
Well, I've been imploring of the White House and Secretary Salazar from the beginning that they didn't need a shutdown moratorium. They keep calling it a pause. But anytime you're going to not set out exactly how you're going to do the inspections, exactly how you're going to get the process done, when a company gets an offer to get good money for a rig somewhere, they're going. And of course, part of the problem is in that the Department of Interior has indicated they're doing permitting, but they used to do about 14 permits a month. They have only done 2 permits in the last 3 months, and that's not going to get it, and that's in the shallow water where it's been safer and the record's been good.
All right, Congressman Charlie Melanson from Capitol Hill for us today, and from down there in Louisiana, Congressman down there, thanks for your time and your views this morning.
Thank you.